What's up, everybody? Welcome to another video about finance. Today we're going to be going out with my friend Julian and we're going to be having a good time like we always do. By the time you get done watching this video, you're probably going to be like, what did I just watch? I'm going to do you guys a major solid and put some timestamps up right here because some of you guys want to just get straight to the Bitcoin stuff. I like to have fun. Hope you like to have fun too. So if you do, roll that intro. That Molly music right here. Oh shit. You feeling it, bro?
Yeah, man. This is almost like what my dad played at his bachelor party.
Oh fuck yeah. After he married that fucking whore.
He rented out the top floor of the fucking Marriott. It's sick, bro.
Fucking sick. Then he married that fucking whore, my mom.
Yeah. Well, she wasn't my mom, but she was my little brother's mom.
Just another one of his secretaries, you know.
She was one of them, those little Asian kids.
Oh, fuck.
It's okay.
All right, so this is round number 2 that you guys are seeing. First one messed up. It ended up as hour-long slow motion videos. So this time we're getting the audio. We've done this video before, but I'm going to get some caffeine in me because I work nights and it is not night. To West Virginia. Everything's there. My family, my heritage, my wife, my sister. I mean, my wife is my sister, but, you know.
So also fine, too.
I mean, she's got some,
Get out of the way, colored.
She, with the
You
blacks.
Black Yukon.
What the blacks call that good. That's what my sister's got,
Mm-hmm. And she was a sexy little piece.
All right. So we're gonna roll out. We're gonna go try to find somewhere to spend some Bitcoin, but on our way we're gonna try to impart some knowledge, as we do on this channel.
All right. So the first thing we got here is what is a Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a peer-to-peer currency system, currently not really regulated as much as paper currency. It is regulated at least a little bit as both a currency and a security under U.S. law. It has a two-factor identification, which is commonly used as a security measure.
So basically what the Bitcoin is itself, it's not an actual coin, even though that's kind of what you see. You see the little coin with the B on it. We'll probably flash it on the screen here. But what the Bitcoin is it's just a computer code. So you've got a computer code and you've got a network. So it's really just kind of a computer code that goes and you communicate from yourself to a network, and then that network communicates to another person. Make the light. Oh fuck! I just ran the shit out of that. There's no cameras. I mean, there's one right here.
Running red lights.
Hey.
Technically we didn't. Government.
Hashtag running red lights.
Hashtag running red lights. But with the Bitcoin being a virtual currency, a lot of people tend to worry about its traceability. And in fact, Bitcoin is, in a way, it's a bit of both. It is a little bit traceable, but for the most part, it is untraceable. The only way that you would really ever get hacked, so to say, is if you put your Bitcoin, or you register your Bitcoin with a third party, and the third party has a security breach.
So yeah, we'll put a little diagram up here. So basically how it goes is you have your private key, which communicates with your public key, which is basically a fake name, you could say, which is in the network. If someone hacked that third party, the third party has your private key. So if they take your private key, they basically become you. They can make valid Bitcoin transactions as you if they get that information from that third party.
Right. And as a matter of fact, there has been several cases of that over the years since Bitcoin's introduction back in 2010, I believe it was. But back in 2014, there was actually a really high-profile case of hacking done by maybe a group of people, or maybe it was one person in their mother's basement. We don't know yet.
We don't know. We're not going to ever find them, though.
We're not going to find them because they stole a lot of money. Okay. But it was back in February 14. It was the hack of Mt. Gox. It was the world's largest Bitcoin exchange. The hackers stole over 850,000 Bitcoins, which wound up being a little less than $500 million.
Yeah, they're probably on an island somewhere, and they're,
Definitely bought a private island. Probably, set up some human trafficking, like anybody else would.
As one does.
As one does, right?
What?
And, it's kind of an interesting thing there. Since it's not really regulated, I kind of wonder on how you would dispute that. Like if you get a credit card fraud, you can dispute that all day.
Yeah.
But Bitcoin fraud, no, I didn't buy this helicopter.
Yeah, it's like, well, this is your key, and your shit's gone. I kind of see it as like how a debit card would work. You get debit card frauded, 9 times out of 10 you're kind of screwed. So that's kind of how I see it. Is this acid rap? He looked like what's Andre? Who's that dude who like wears suits kind of, but not really?
Oh, Eric Andre.
Eric Andre.
Yeah.
He was like the crackhead version of Eric Andre.
All right. So as far as regulation of Bitcoin, it's still very much in a weird limbo. Governments and corporations are definitely taking notice of it. It's trying to regulate the services that it runs off of, called Coinbase. Coinbase was ordered by the IRS to turn over user information for over 14,000 users that are currently using Bitcoin. As far as actionable items, it looks like South Korea's government was recently enacted legislation to require usernames for crypto wallet services to be the same as the name on their bank account.
Right, so you can't just come into the marketplace and just start up, some account as John Doe and then go start making all these different purchases under some shadow name.
I finessed the plug, I got extra drugs.
So they're kind of trying to step in for tax purposes because they know that this is possibly going to be a thing in the future, and just so that, well, really, they just want their money. They want your money.
They want everybody's money.
They want all your money.
They gonna get that money. Okay.
And as far as like criminal regulation, so tax purposes, criminal regulation, they're kind of stepping in and taking notice. In addition to that, corporations are starting to take notice. You see things like Libra from Facebook. You see things like bits for Amazon. If you go on Twitch, you'll see you can donate bits to your favorite streamers. Visa's even starting to take notice. On that note, Libra is not a true cryptocurrency. And what do I mean by that? Libra is regulated through Facebook. So what a true cryptocurrency is peer-to-peer, right? Right now, our currency system is, regulated by the Federal Reserve. It's just regulated by the Federal Reserve.
A private company, by the way.
A private company. Look into the Federal Reserve if you want to see something shocking. There's a private company, for-profit company, by the way, that is regulating our currency system and manipulates basically whether or not you have a job or food to eat. So it's some crazy stuff.
But don't look too hard, because they'll find your IP address and they will come and find you. Okay? It's happened. Okay?
So a lot of people have questions of what gives Bitcoin value. And really, what gives Bitcoin value is the same thing that gives any type of currency value. I mean, if you go back far in time to England, they used to trade sticks. And the sticks had value because people said the sticks had value. So it's kind of the same with Bitcoin. There's only a certain amount that have been created, 21 million, I believe.
Correct.
I'll probably put an asterisk if we're wrong right here.
Yeah.
Essentially what you have is, you know, just the math behind it. If you got your denominator, bro, I don't know math anymore. If you've got a certain amount that have created, you know, and then you have more and more US dollars or whatever dollars pouring into the system, the current holders, it becomes more valuable. So another thing that's been great about Bitcoin is that things such as charitable causes, disaster relief, and startups that are overseas, people have been able to invest in those using Bitcoin, and that's just kind of a thing that's been great about Bitcoin is, you know, being able to support those causes that you care about, and, you know, make investments with Bitcoin. It not only lets you send money to other countries that maybe have, you know, oppressive governments, but it also lets you send messages to other countries that have oppressive governments, because what you have is just that system where it's, you know, from you to that basically cloud, and then down to that private user. So the technology itself is actually pretty revolutionary in and of itself. Is Bitcoin a good investment? By my definition, I wouldn't call it an investment. I would call it a big speculation. On this channel, I never really want to tell you, yes, you should buy this. I will tell you what I'm buying and what I'm not buying. I'm currently buying into Bitcoin in a very small way, but make sure you do your own research and make sure that you are well informed on this topic before you just make your decision based on a YouTube video.
It's honestly really the start of a world economy. You know, for all my science fiction lovers, it's the start of credits. For, you know, you want to buy something, you can pay for it in credits. Your digital currency. It's almost like we're just moving to the age of digital monies.
Right, and we see it, I mean, you see it in obviously very tangible ways. I mean, when's the last time you guys actually paid for something in cash? Which, by the way, do not pay for things in cash or with a debit card. You should be getting at least 2% back on some credit card. Stop doing that if you're doing it. That is a recommendation. No, it's not. Legally, anyways, it's not. Right, so we're going to go through some of the pros and cons of Bitcoin. I don't know if I want to call this a pro or a con, but depending on what you want, it could be a pro or a con. The network, the blockchain network of Bitcoin is very easy to monitor. So if you like the government, then Bitcoin is good because they can kind of monitor what happens on the network. Though it is kind of hard to trace it back to individuals unless the government goes and forces people to basically go through a third party, which the government doesn't force people to do stuff. I mean, you know, it'll be all right.
And as far as cons, as of right now, with it being early technology, it's not yet accepted by a lot of companies or corporations. As a matter of fact, we had a few just in our neighborhood that we could list. As a matter of fact, here's a video of Casey buying some.
All right, so we're about to join the revolution. I'm not reading all that shit. I understand. Oh my goodness. I think it's gonna send it to my phone. Okay.
Hi. You're always late. Like, you weren't actually late today. Good job.
All right.
Even when she's early.
So it gave me this voucher, and it taxed me 4%. That's pretty lame. It wasn't an ATM, it was called a Bitcoin ATM, but it wasn't an ATM in the traditional sense of the word. Like, you can't go there and put Bitcoin in, because I mean that just doesn't make sense. Like, thinking back on it, I don't know why I was expecting that.
All right, so right now we're on the way to La Paz in West Seattle. They're one of the few places in Washington that actually do accept Bitcoin in exchange for services. As of right now, it's looking like it's going to take us about a half an hour to get there, so we will see you guys when we get there. Here we are, La Paz storefront. We're about to go in here and exchange Bitcoins for some services.
Devil in a red dress, call 911, I'm a killer. You know I had to confess. Bang bang, got my hand on the trigger.
true, Bitcoin is accepted here, along with, as well as most other altcoins, which I've never heard of before. So,
How you doing? It's like an online thing, or what are you guys doing?
Yeah, it's a little YouTube video.
It's a YouTube video?
Yeah.
Is it pro or is it against Bitcoin and crypto?
It's against La Pasta. No, I'm just
I
kidding.
When people ask me, is it difficult?
Yeah.
Like, how hard is it? Is it worth it? It's way easier than setting up a Square account, which is, I don't know, most people are running some sort of process like Clover or Square anymore.
Right.
It's way easier than setting up like an actual Visa terminal.
Yeah.
Right? And then you get the money, you get the value immediately or within minutes, depending on what currency they're using.
Yeah.
Versus right now, if I get a transaction on a Friday or even sometimes Thursday night, I won't get that until Monday or Tuesday in the bank account, right? So that's another thing. And then what I tell most people is, when you come in and you look at a product, right? You look at the pasta or the sauce. You agree that that's what you want to pay, right? You go, okay, I'm okay paying $8 for that. Well, then how come Visa needs to take 2.75%, right?
Yeah.
I say I need $8. You say that's worth $8, and then somehow I end up with $7 and 77 cents. And it's not like you or I. Yeah, we never agreed. It's not like you go, oh, and Visa should get a cut.
Yeah.
And that's just something I think that when people stop to actually realize and think about, they go, oh. Yeah, that's right. That doesn't make sense. Like, I think that that's the value of that product that I'm buying.
Right.
How come you're not going to get that on your end?
Yeah.
That's kind of weird. But
That is weird.
it's good that conversation comes up regularly now. People ask me, oh, is it worth it? And I get to explain, it's more convenient, it costs less, and depending on what currency you're using. But, yeah.
That's awesome. So what does the process normally look like for somebody who is trying to come in
And pay
with it? So what
I would say
what does that look like?
these days it still goes something like this. How do I pay with my Bitcoin? That's the first question. People go, I have it, I've never spent it, how do I do it? And then I'll usually go, I'll pull up the app. I use, right now, Coinami, Coinami wallet. I find it to be, I think it's the simplest and easiest and secure for the beginner or for a business that wants to be able to accept multiple currency. Because the Coinami wallet holds practically anything someone's going to come in with, right? If somebody comes in with Litecoin, Digibyte, Dash, Bitcoin, whatever it is, I can accept that, right? So then I show them that you go to, let's say you want to pay with Bitcoin.
Yep.
I've got receive, I've got send. I go to receive. And with this wallet is another reason I like it. I can choose Bitcoin value or dollar value.
Okay.
Some wallets you can only use Bitcoin value, which means you've got to calculate the transaction, like what the exchange rate is. So on here, you come in. It's not convenient. So on here, I just go. Let's say you're buying, $18 worth of stuff. I can put $18 and it automatically generates a QR code asking for that. It's like creating an invoice.
Yeah.
I show you that, they scan it. And ask them, hey, are you wanting to authorize a payment of this amount to that? And that's it. They just say yes. As soon as I see that it's coming through, as long as it's broadcast to the network. I mean, in theory, I should wait for confirmation, but it's like an $18, $20 transaction. I don't think anybody's going to try and double spend or do something crazy.
Right.
So that's it. And as soon as I see it come through, I go, we're good. And they head out. And most people are like, that's easier than I thought it would be. Yeah, no, it is pretty simple.
That's awesome.
Bitcoin's just not as suited to small transactions as it is to you could, for instance, as a prime example, somebody moved $1 billion yesterday, and they spent $700. They overspent by 20x.
Yeah.
They spent more than they should have because with Bitcoin you could have paid a lot less. For whatever reason, they chose to expedite the transaction, but it was, think about it, you move $1 billion for $700, or you could, in theory, have moved it for a lot less. But for a $20 transaction with me, you're still gonna spend $2.
Yeah.
That's a huge chunk. So that's where I get people who are paying with Nano or Ethereum. Nano is free and instant. And I like that. I didn't learn about it until customers were like, can I pay with Nano? And I was like, sure, why not? Let's give it a go. And that's instantaneous and there's no fee at all. And then, Ethereum is pretty cheap. Dash is really cheap, Digibyte's really cheap, and there's a lot of people in the Dash community in Seattle, I guess.
Yeah.
I didn't know about until we started offering that.
So how does that work come tax time, as far as being a business owner?
Yeah.
Basically, as long as I convert it, well, first I record it at the value that it is when we get it. But then if it goes up in value and I convert it to dollar, then I have to do that at that rate at the time of that of conversion.
Of conversion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because right now the way it's written, you pay for when you sell it or convert it. Right?
Okay.
So if you or in this case receive. If you buy, there's no taxable event.
Yeah.
It's a taxable event if I receive it because I sold something, and then otherwise it's when I convert it to US dollar again, whatever that gain is at that time.
Okay.
So that would change if it was over a year, but that's not how. But most businesses aren't working that way. You're not taking it in and then waiting a year or two and then cashing it out.
Right.
You're gonna want to keep it
rolling
so you have cash. There you go. And then you send and then confirm it. You got your confirmation. There it is. You're good to go. Awesome.
So once again, some of our audio got cut off. I just wanted to add this really quick in post. So when you buy Bitcoin through Robinhood, you're not actually getting it for free. What's really happening is Robinhood is going through an exchange and they are buying the Bitcoin on your behalf and they transfer it into your account. They're just holding it for you. In addition to that, you can't actually spend the Bitcoin that's in Robinhood, so it's not an actual currency in Robinhood. It's more of an investment, a speculative one at that. All right, so that's the video for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you give it a thumbs up if you did. And I hope you guys learned something. I know I definitely did. And I'll see you guys in the next one.